It's summer, it's bikini time, and so I have a new tutorial for you guys. In my last bikini tutorial, I showed you guys how to make this one. It is a classic triangle shape, has a nice sharp tip. It is tall and narrow, and it also lays flat. And in this new one that I want to show you how to make, it has a little bit of a rounded curve to it. It is going to be wider, and it has more of a rounded tip than the first one does. So this one will be great if you have a fuller bust or you want a little bit more coverage. Please check out the description for my yarn disclaimer, but it is super cute, definitely beginner friendly, and you can whip it up in a day. It's made to measure. I do have some recommended guidelines when we start, but without further ado, grab your yarn and your hook and let's do it. We're going to begin by making a slip knot and chaining a minimum of 10. For the best fit, use your chain and measure from the bottom of your bust to the middle, and that will be a great starting point. But go ahead and make your minimum of 10 chains, and then we will work on our foundation row. Once you're happy with the length, you are going to chain one more for a turning chain. And we are going to start by working in the back bumps, and so flip it over to the back and skip the first chain and work into the second one and make one single crochet into that back bump. And once you've finished that, we are going to continue making one single crochet into every back bump. And so just continue doing that, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Alrighty, and so from here we're going to be working the row the same way every time. We're going to single crochet up, increase at the top, and then single crochet back down on the other side. And so we're not going to chain one, you're just going to flip your work and make a single crochet into the last stitch that you had made. And you are going to make one single crochet into every stitch all the way down the row. And so just continue making one single crochet into every stitch, and I will meet you at the end of the row where I will walk you through how to do our increasing. Alrighty, and so I'm making my last single crochet here, and now we are going to be looking at our turning chain. There are two little dashes that we want to insert our hook into, and it is going to be really, really tight. In my experience, this first one is the tightest, and it's going to be easier in the rows coming up, but so I'm fast forwarding through my struggle of getting my hook under both of those loops. But so there we go, and now we're going to make the tip of our bikini. We are going to make one single crochet, chain one, and one more single crochet. One single crochet, chain one more single crochet, all into this space. And so it was tight going in, it's tight coming out. I'm fast forwarding, there we go. And here's my first single crochet. And then chain one and make one more single crochet into that space. And so in the rows upcoming, we are going to be working the same single crochet, chain one, single crochet in that chain that we had just made. But so that's how we make the tip of the bikini, and now we are going to be working on the other side of this row. You're going to insert your hook under both loops of this chain that we had made at the very beginning, and we're just going to single crochet down the row. Make one single crochet in every stitch until you reach the end, and that's where I'll meet you to walk you through how to do this again. But we're just going to be repeating this over and over until we're happy with the size of our bikini. And so here I am finishing up the row, and we are just going to repeat it over and over again. We're going to single crochet up, we're going to single crochet, chain one, single crochet at the tip, and then single crochet back down the row. And again, we're not chaining one, we're just going to turn our work and work directly into the last stitch that we had made. I think it makes a way straighter edge without doing that turning chain. And so you're just going to continue making a single crochet into every stitch, and I will meet you up at the tip to do our little tip increase. Every row you are going to be adding one more single crochet on each side, and so if you started with 10, your next row is going to be 11, and then 12, and so on and so forth. But so here I am up at the top now, and I am going to fast forward through me struggling to get my hook in there, but it is possible. And so you're just going to, again, make one single crochet, chain one, and then work one more single crochet into that same space. So I'm going to speed up through this process. And once you finish the tip, you're just going to single crochet back down the row and then repeat that over and over and over again until you're happy with the size of your bikini. But so now that we all know what's going on, I'm just going to do a quick check-in after every row so you can see how it looks as it's in progress. But I will be back to talk again when we start working on the edge of the bikini and on the straps. And this is the last row for me. And now I want to go ahead and do a little border on the edge. And so I'm going to make one more single crochet in this last stitch that I had made. And now we're going to work along the edge of the bikini. And you can see that there's a little hole underneath that dash. I'm going to work one single crochet there. And then I'm going to work a single crochet next to the dash. And then below the dash, next to the dash, below the dash, next to the dash, and just repeat that all the way across the edge just to give it a nice, prettier edge. And so you just want to make sure that you're placing the single crochets evenly so that there's no pulling or warping or anything like that. But just follow those dashes. Make a single crochet below the dash, next to the dash, below the dash, all the way down until we reach the end, where we're going to place one more single crochet in the same space as our first single crochet. And then to finish it all off, we are going to slip stitch to that first single crochet. I'm fast forwarding through my struggle. And then once you finish your slip stitch, then you can go ahead and chain one and fasten off, leaving a nice little tail that we'll weave in later. And so that's how it looks at the end, super nice and clean. I love it. Once you're done with that, make your second one and then we'll make the straps. We are going to make super easy straps and we're going to start with the one that we're going to weave through the bottoms of the cups and wrap around our body. And so all you're going to do is just chain, chain, chain. You're going to chain until it is long enough to comfortably wrap around your body and tie in the back. And then just fasten off at the end and pull that tail super nice and tight so it's secure. And that's it, super duper easy. And now we'll make our neckties. So I'm using the previous chain strap just to demonstrate how we're going to do it. It is going to go around our neck like a halter, loop through the top of the bikini, and then we'll be able to tie it in the back. And so it's going to be really, really strong and supportive. And again, all we're going to do is just chain, chain, chain. Measure it against yourself to make sure that you can comfortably fit it around your neck, loop it, and tie it again. And now to weave it through, you're just going to insert your hook between the two single crochets at the tip. Don't worry about going through the actual chain, just go between the two single crochets, going from the outside to the inside, insert your hook away from you, and then just pull that chain through. Super easy. And then do that on the other side. Just insert your hook between the two single crochets, pushing the hook away from you, going from the outside to the inside, and then pull that strap through, and that's it. Super easy. And now let's weave through the bottom strap. A little bit harder, but still easy. You're going to start by counting the stitches at the bottom. I have 24, and then you're going to figure out how to evenly divide it. And so I'm going to divide mine by 4 stitches, and so I'll weave mine in and out 6 times, going through the first one, skipping 2, inserting my hook into the 4th one, and pulling it back out. And you're just going to weave the strap in and out evenly all the way across the bottom. The only thing that I would advise is when you do your first pull through, you want your hook to be going from the outside to the inside because you want the strap to be kind of underneath the bikini at the beginning and the end. Hopefully that made sense. But just evenly weave the strap through the bottom. The tiniest bit of math, but also you could just do it every other stitch too if you don't want to do the math. But so super duper easy. And then go ahead and do that on the other cup as well. And then next I'll show you how to weave in the ends, and then we're all done. All right, and so weaving is going to be super duper easy. You're just going to weave as normal. Just make sure you're doing it on the inside of the cup, just taking any ends and going through the stitches above it. Keep going until they are all nice and hidden and secure, but super easy. You don't have to think about it too much. And then for the straps, you have two options. You can either pull the tail super duper tight and then trim it fairly close to that knot. And I would also use some fabric glue to make it really secure. Or you can weave it through the chains by doing this motion of going from the top to the bottom through every chain. That same motion, top to bottom, and weave it through that way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope you love your new bikini. These cups are also great if you want to make a top out of it. You can use it as the base of your top and then make the body. And it is also a nice plain base that you can add cute borders to it, do fun straps. It is so customizable, so I'd love to hear down in the comments what colors you're using, if you are going to add any extra details to it. But I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. A like and a comment helps me so much. But thank you guys again. And as always, happy crocheting and stay lucky. Bye.